Was
On
like
Monday,
a
I would
dark
just look
cloud
forward to
around
not
me
getting
all
drunk
over
that
the
weekend. I wanted to die.
Jesus is better than acceptance. I was raised in a pastor's home. My grandpa's a pastor, so I've been this whole generation of pastors, of men who are really influential for God. And I remember being a kid and thinking, okay, if I can just do what they do, then everybody will love me. And I remember going to soccer games and volleyball games and praying before the games and praying with my friends before lunch and talking to my teachers about Jesus. And I really did love Jesus, so I meant all of the things that I was doing. But my motivation behind it was so that people would look at me and say, man, Pastor John's daughter, she really loves God, or man, that girl is on fire for God. She really is somebody that I want my kids to be like. And I remember that being my motivation my whole life. And when I went off to college, it was a time where I didn't have anybody saying, hey, that's Pastor John's kid, or hey, I know her, she's the pastor's kid over at Church on the Rock. And I was kind of in this place where nobody knew me, nobody expected anything of me, and I didn't know really what to do with myself. And I remember the first time that I chose not to go to church and just the thought process behind that. And I remember this girl reading the scripture to me, and it was from John 15:16. It said, you did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit. My whole childhood was filled with my relationship with God being based on what other people thought of me and if they approved of what I was doing. And in college, I remember just laying there in my bed that night after I heard the scripture thinking, my God chose me to be in this family for a reason, for such a time as this, so that I could impact people. And no longer do I have to think about, well, are they going to be okay with that? Are they going to be proud of me? Am I going to do this the right way? And that's not my motivation anymore, because my God chose me so that I could go and bear fruit for him. And Jesus really is better than acceptance. And it doesn't matter, not everybody's going to love me, but I think that if we can live for him, then everything else will fall into place and the right people will be in our lives.
Jesus is better than my parameters. It was at fall retreat, it was nighttime. They had told us to spread out and just get along with God. And I went outside and I looked up at the stars, just looking up at the sky. And I was looking, and out of my peripheral vision, I saw like a portion of a shooting star. And I was about to say, God, can you? And I stopped talking. And before I could even finish that sentence, another shooting star came by. And I was going to say, God, can you send another? And he said, see, I want to give you all that I have for you, but due to whatever, this world has put you in a box, and you put yourself in that same box, and you just won't even step out and ask for what I have for you. And all the time you do this. You constantly just say, it's not my place. I'm not meant to do this. I don't have to step out. And the Lord really just was working on me, dealing with me with that. And then after that, I was still looking at the stars, and it's just like he shifted my vision, or I don't know. It's just like stars was just everywhere, all around me. And that's all I could see. And he said, each one of these stars are times that you could have said something, but you didn't. And now it's a problem that you could have fixed. And I was like, dang, that hit me pretty hard. And he said, but as many stars as there are, I've also given you that many talents. And each talent is something you can use to fix that problem with. So you have it in you, but for some reason you put yourself in this box and you think you can't, but you can.